Tigers and the Big Red from Cornell. They're the home team. They're the top seed. Princeton, meanwhile, looking to win their third Ivy Tournament championship in a row. A battle of the top two teams in the country. Number one Cornell, number one Princeton coming up next. Let's take a look at the Ivy League tournament bracket to see how we got here with these two teams. Cornell, no problem with Yale on Friday night and late night Friday after we had a couple of weather delays in that first game. Princeton outlasted Harvard, a 3-goal win, and that sets up this battle between the top two teams in the country. Alongside Quinn Kesnick, Paul Carcaterra, I'm Chris Cotter. So glad you could join us in Carc. As we were saying, top two teams in the country. These two teams are playing at a very high level coming into May.
This game's all about excellence. When you start with Princeton, a three-peat would be the first time in league history since Yale did it in 2015, 16, and 17. And you look at Cornell. This is a team, if they win today, I think unequivocally they'll be the top seed in the NCAA tournament. And when you think about their history, going for a title for the first time since 1977, and they have the team to bring a title back to Ithaca.
They got the offense, that's for sure. They're the number one rated scoring offense in the country with the number one offensive player, C.J. Kirst, leading the country in goals per game and points per game. Left-handed from New Jersey. He's put together an incredible career, but this year, I mean, it's all coming together, whether it's shooting, dodging, passing, riding, or leading. This guy has the Big Red on the cuff of something special.
And he has the teammates as well. You look at this attack line, 25 points in the semifinal victory against Yale. And it's like a two-quarterback system with Kirst, Goldstein, and Michael Long. Such great passers.
Carc, if Princeton wants to end this 5-game losing streak they have against Cornell, how are they going to get it done?
Well, Coulter Mackesy is a magician with the left hand. He has range in his shot and can fill it up with the best of them. 162 career goals. One more, he ties the great Jesse Hubbard for the most goals in Princeton lacrosse history.
If you're going to stop Cornell, you need a goaltender, and that's Ryan Craddock's job today. He's number 3 in the country in save percentage, just above 60%. He has seen a ton of rubber this season. But this Princeton Tiger defense, they've really turned the page and improved as a defensive unit under head coach Matt Madelon. Look at the data. First 7 games, not so good. 44th in the country. The last 7 games or so, outstanding defense, ranked second in the country. You'll see some man and some zone, Cotter.
Let's face this thing off, all right? We've got Andrew McMeekin and Jack Cascadden. Talking about man, these two are grown men who are about to battle it at that face-off dot. A couple of meat sticks. We're going to battle all day long. Very evenly matched off the top. Cascadden gets possession to Cornell first. Thought we were going to get a pole goal 2 seconds into the game. That's Kirst, 15 in white. The odds-on favorite to win the Tewaaraton Award. It's the college lacrosse equivalent of the Heisman. And he is a heavy favorite to win that award. Ball gets away from a cutter. It was tipped, so it'll stay with Cornell.
These teams met on March 15th here in Ithaca. Princeton really struggling in that game early, fell behind 7-2. Ultimately, Cornell won 15-10 with 2 big runs in the game.
C.J. Kirst, 5 goals and 2 assists the last time these two teams met.
Looks like zone defense from Princeton.
Hugh Kelleher puts his shoulder into a defender. You'll see a lot of that today. He is a downhill bull dodger. Former great high school running back on Long Island. Tic-tac-toe passing over the shoulder, score by Andrew Dalton. Big Red on the board early.
They're loving it in Ithaca. We saw a lot of zone from Princeton on Friday night against Harvard. The way to beat a zone, draw a slide, tic-tac-toe passing, and then a behind-the-back to boot from Dalton. You're losing your angle there. That is just beautiful, Quinn.
Dalton is one of 13 seniors on this roster. He's a lefty midi from Toronto who runs really like an attackman in the slot area. It's a great cut down the seam.
Procedure call going to go against Princeton rather, so Cornell ball.
That last pass by Ryan Goldstein is becoming one of the premier passers in college lacrosse. Goldstein 5th in assists per game nationally.
Second midfield unit on for Cornell. That's Sheehan, Luzzy, and Waldman. This unit was very effective on Friday night in their win over Yale. Goldstein, back from X. He's the big distributor on this team. Came into this tournament 3rd in the country in assists per game.
My gut tells me that maybe Cornell can slice and dice the zone.
Kerr's trying to come back upfield. Skips it over to Luzzy. That's long. Feeds it inside to Kerr's. Jump shot. Save made by Croddick. Talked about Croddick. How about Wyatt Nust, starting goaltender for Cornell? As that ride has been, look how hard of a time Princeton's having getting that ball to the offensive end.
Saw Kurse just going nuts on that ride. Kurse is one of the top riders in the country. 2nd on the team and calls turnovers.
And the bench lights up. Dooley comes out of there with it.
He just put up a blockade once the ball crossed the midfield line.
Goldstein, head up. That was Waldman. He's got Christopher Davis, his defensive mid, he's 7. This is going to be a point-blank shot and a score by Waldman. That was too easy. It's 2-0, Cornell.
Starts with the energy on the ride, and then once they clear it, Princeton gets caught in the sub game. They don't have all their personnel on. They're not sure if it's man or zone, and Waldman is left wide open.
That is too easy for Waldman, Quint. And I think what happens with Princeton is first couple possessions defensively, they're in zone, so they think, okay, we can sit back. I'm in my spot zone-wise on the bottom corner, but it's unsettled right there. You almost have to go man before zone.
Kobe Ginder taking this draw after the violation on the last one for Princeton. Same results. It's another possession for Cascadden and Cornell. TJ Lamb thought about letting it go. Instead, he'll go ahead and sub out. Firth in this first midfield unit coming on for Cornell.
Clark, I got to ask, is this a team you would think a zone would work against Cornell? To me, I'd say no.
Not the way we've seen them pass this year. I mean, they play hot potato, man. The ball spins when the Big Red has the ball in the offensive set. Here's a transition opportunity. You got to push if you're Princeton.
They got all sorts of potential matchups now caught on defense. Cornell's got 3 offensive mids caught on D.
Kabiri wants to take advantage and get to the middle of the field. Kabiri wants it back and gets it back. Great pass. Saved by Nust. Dangerously in front. Doesn't get through. Nust with a great save way outside of the goal. Cornell looking to counter. Long, tough angle, scores!
End-to-end action. The Big Red is a wagon. Starts with a save by Wyatt Nust. Chad Palumbo telegraphs that shot, Quint, low to low.
Look at that.
Then he makes that second one on a reactive type save, and then they're off to the races.
Cornell can run. The fans are on their feet here. They're going absolutely bonkers because Nust starts the counterattack, and we've seen Cornell in transition plays gorgeous tic-tac-toes, zigzag passes, and they find the net. All Big Red up 3-0 in the first 4 minutes.
Connor Busick was a three-time All-American midfielder here at Cornell in his fourth year as the head coach. He's won the Ivy League championship in every one of those 4 years. Still looking for his first tournament championship, though. But, we've seen this offense in the first 4 minutes. It's been crazy good. Well, it's been that way all year.
A young coach from Cincinnati, Ohio, that's got this team ready to go out of the locker room. And you think about when Cornell made that appearance in the 2022 national championship game. A lot of these Cornell players you're seeing, 13 in the senior class, they were freshmen that year.
And they were impact players, right? The C.J. Kurse, the Hugh Kelleher's of the world. Connor Busick, to me, is a great blend of old school, new school, right? He's the son of a football coach, so he gets the hard work and how to build a team. But he also played on this field only 10 years ago. He's a 2015 grad.
Princeton needed that face-off win. It's the first one they've had all game long. Now let's see if they can get something settled in here. 6v6, trailing by 3 early. Here comes the freshman Bonanno. Mackesy. That's Burns or Kabiri rather behind the cage. As defender hung up. Now he comes up GLE. Gets it to Tucker Wade. Shoots left-handed. Nust is there. Can't find it. It's at his feet. Look out! Oh, he almost kicked it in himself. Was able to cover up.
Nust is on. You see his body language, his hand speed, like he came to play today, Quint.
Been very good this year. Senior lefty from Tampa, Florida. Lost the starting role last year. Fought to get it back this year. I thought he was outstanding in their win over Syracuse early in the game, especially.
Cursed. There's Firth up top. Kelleher over to Long. Kelleher muscles his way in and scores!
There's your meathead dodge.
Saw that dude on campus earlier a couple days ago with his dad. His dad looks like he's been doing shrugs with railroad ties for the last 20 years. This family is a physical bunch. Kelleher right up there among them.
He dodges the zone. That's his own defense, and he just dodges the seam and gets leverage. Look at him. He's able to free up his hands and through some pretty good defensive pressure. That's 11 yards or 11, 12 yards there with power.
I said it earlier. You have to dodge the zone. And if Hugh Kelleher doesn't have the shot there, at the very least he drew two, and then you start seeing the tic-tac-toe type passing.
Another violation. That's a second in this half. Another one will be 32nd man down penalty against Princeton. Everything going Cornell's way here early. Tigers got to find some way to stem this tide or it's going to get out of hand. Luzzy looking to dodge. Over to Kirst. Behind a Goldstein. Quick movement. Luzzy up top against the shorty. Waldman can step in instead to Kirst. He fires it. Just too high. Luzzy spins. Help comes, gets it off to Long. Goldstein around here to Kirst. Waldman on the run. Finds Goldstein, cutting save made by Croddick.
That was a sick pass by Waldman. I thought he was going to the attackman on the wing, and then at the last second, he throws that like lever pass.
Green loses his footing. Princeton has until the 60-second mark of the shot clock to get the ball beyond the midfield line, and they don't because they turn it over. Kirsten Cornell back on offense, allowing the substitution patterns.
That's a disaster. Disaster is clear for Princeton. As you look at the series history, this is a Princeton team that played pretty late into Friday night after a series of lightning delays that impacted the semifinals.
That game ended at about 11:30. Firth shoots. Craddock makes the save. Good outlet that time. Here comes Green, who lost it on the last possession.
I think it's smart for Princeton to get that out quick because Cornell is riding relentlessly. So if you wait a beat or two to clear the ball, you're going to be toast.
Number 11 in black, Sean Cameron. He feasts on this Ivy League tournament. 10 goals in 5 career Ivy League tournament games for 11 in black. You're going to need him today. Here's Kabiri. Staub had him for a minute, and then he comes off that pick. Back to Kabiri. Good defense by Cornell here. Kabiri can shoot. Try to get a better angle upfield. Staub was there. Now he scores.
The impact of having two hands is you got to roll back at your disposal when you need it.
I spent time with Nate Kabiri earlier in the season on the field, and you cannot tell if he's righty, lefty. From a skill set perspective, this guy's about as smooth as it gets, and he gets the defense of Cornell to get so heavy on that top side. His right hand, which is his strength, and that lefty rip is his offhand. That's sick.
Coach Madelon needed it and got it, stemming the tie. Now they get another face-off win. Miller's got to watch out here, but he gets it to Kabiri. Agassi on the far side. Haven't said his name much, haven't had an opportunity to in the first 9 minutes of this game.
Good news for Princeton. You could score in Cornell.
No, exactly. I was going to say, the other night, Yale in defeat, man, they were tenacious. But their offense exposed some flaws in Cornell's D, did they not?
Cornell had to go to zone.
Cornell struggled on ball. They're much more aggressive tonight on ball. Look at, they're trying to get some friction on the ball carrier. And their double teams and recoveries were a disaster at times in that game.
Palumbo gets by his man and scores, and the flag comes out.
He got popped. And it's going to be interesting when we see the replay where the hit is to, because if it's near the head or neck, Chad Palumbo is a big, strong lefty. Two-handed guy. That's just going to be, I think, 1 minute unnecessary roughness for a late hit. That's not by the head or neck.
It's just a beat late. It's battery. That's it.
That's a little egregious, but let's get the call.
That ball white. Contact to the head. We're going to review it.
They're going to review it. Scott McCall, Daniel Belk, Daniel Hannafin, our officials today.
I didn't see it in the first replay. When we look at it again, contact to the head or neck. I thought it was towards
shoulder.
The shoulder and the back of the shoulder.
I didn't see either indirect or direct contact to the head or neck area.
Certainly not excessive. So indirect is a minute, direct is 2, excessive or flagrant 3, or a possible ejection.
Non-releasable calls have been a big storyline this entire season. But for Cornell's season, is there some far head-to-head there?
Yeah,
I think Palumbo's head was kind of whiplashed due to the hit to the body.
But there was still some head-to-head. I think it could be indirect. It's close. It's close. You know what it was? The initial hit wasn't to the head, but the secondary reaction from Palumbo and his head went back.
The head kind of whiplashed a little bit.
Head.
Duke Reeder, that was a big hit.
He had a huge hit the other day, too. Duke Reeder is a Stanford
football
player.
Yes.
He's a Stanford football player.
See why. It certainly was evident on that hit. Palumbo's doing well, so that's good.
He's really skilled, Chad Palumbo. He's going to play.
Either way, no face-off Princeton ball with the extra man.
Exactly.
Dead ball. That's a dead ball foul.
Palumbo's going to play.
So this opens the door for the Tigers.
North of the border this summer up in Canada, we play box lacrosse. Total lax rat.
White, 48. Direct contact to the head. 2 minutes. Full time. Black ball.
Wow.
I didn't see it.
I didn't see that.
2 minute. Wow.
music doesn't like it at all.
I thought it might be indirect, an in-between indirect and then just a unsportsmanlike late, but that's locked in too.
Yeah,
no face-off.
This is a big moment in this game, even though it's really early for Princeton. They were down 4 goals. They got 2 back. Now they're man up for 2 minutes, unreleasable. They can score as often as they can and still be man up during this 2 minutes.
The key thing, too, is they don't face off because they have an advantage, Cornell, on the face-off.
The key here is to get a really good scoring opportunity without turning the ball over, because then Cornell can really dig into that 2 minutes. Kabiri inside. That'll be 1 goal. Braden Saris gets 1 back, and now it's 4-3, and they're still man up.
They like it. Saris is the high crease finisher. Quinn, you and I talk about it. Princeton's about as skilled of an offense as you'll find. They're so slick, little hidden ball trick. Just for a beat, it costs Cornell in terms of where is the ball.
And Saris cuts the crease here. He starts up top. This extra man unit, number 3 in the country coming into the weekend at 58%. They're awesome. You mentioned sticks. There's a nice balance of righties and lefties. They got some outside gas and some inside finishers.
Here's the deal. If you're Princeton, you have to call a timeout if you win the faceoff and you think that you might be in a little trouble, because that penalty's locked in.
This possession is massive, and Cascadden wins it ahead to himself.
That's a great grounder.
And now Kirsten Company can work on that clock right now.
Yeah, and really smart by Michael Long to get the ball to C.J. Kurse, 15 in white, to be the initiator here. Princeton's got to decide, are they going to double the ball initially? Are they going to play a designated backer like a free safety in the middle of the field? They have an extra man now for a full minute. How risky do you want to get here?
Sometimes when you have that extra guy, you get a little too crazy and guy beats a double and you're not in your base defense. It's a scoring opportunity.
Well, you can see Kelleher and Kirst are just content to just run that shot clock all the way down. Kirst is in no hurry to initiate here.
Cornell keeps Chris Davis 7 in white on the field. He's a defensive midfielder.
About a 17-second difference in shot clock and penalty clock.
It's just crazy. It was 4-0. You thought like Princeton's was going to get run out.
Yeah, they were in danger of getting run out. And they made a nice run here. 3 goals in just over a minute. One of them man up. Kirst now on the run. Kelleher couldn't handle the pass. Look out here. Croddick goes out to get it dangerously, but it's risk-reward, and the reward could be high.
You still want a timeout here, Clark? It's a 20 to go in the penalty.
Well, it's academic now. Kelleher, look at the speed. It's a freight train going downhill.
You're more apt to call timeout in the first half in a scenario like that as opposed to the second half.
Full strength as that 2-minute unreleasable penalty against Cornell ends up hurting him to the tune of just 1 goal. But it is a 1-goal contest right now after the Big Reds stormed out to a 4-0 lead. Kelleher on the move. Just use that shoulder flurry just to give him a little bit of space.
Cooper Miller did a nice job closing on that shot release, 66 in black.
Kelleher is a load. Dude is an absolute beast.
Good pass inside. Kurse saved by Croddick. Firth, then he gets it off, and he couldn't find the net.
See how he scoops and shoots in one? That's shows you.
Far Croddick was off his line. He made that save outside the crease.
Both these goalies have been very active in terms of coming off their line to make big saves in this first half. Kelleher again. Firth. Skips it. Kurst got a little bit of a better angle. Defense did a nice job closing. Kelleher loses it. Gets it back. Still plenty of time. 17 seconds to shoot, so no need to panic. Craddock, you can hear it, but he gets it back. Craddock didn't need to make that save as Kurz just missed, had an open net.
Big stop by Craddock, right? A little flop there, but it was just what the doctor ordered to match that low shot by Kurz.
Former goalie Q up here in the booth. When you heard that sound, that had to send chills down your spine. That doesn't feel very good. You heard the thump on the skin.
Where's the worst place to get hit?
Toes, thumbs.
When it's cold especially, right? It's not warm here today, but it's cool and damp.
If I had a big lead and he was in the cage, I'd go right for the toe or the thumb.
Right, just so you'd hear that ouch. Ouch! Damn it, Kark. Burns looking to continue this Tiger comeback. Here's Palumbo. This defender hung up in the form of Staub, so he's looking for a cutter here. Now Staub picks him up inside a quick stick, and Burns gets the goal. We're all tied at 4.
You want energy? They're matching the energy right now. Came out a little flat quick.
They gave him the nickname Barbecue when he was in middle school. It's Colin Barbecue Burns. And he lives on the inside. Just a little flash cut to the back door. You talk about trust. He's pretty well covered here, Paul. Yep. There's not much real estate to operate. Look at Gil Martin's got him locked up. But the spot feed and one touch, Barbecue.
Stick is a spatula, flipping burgers.
About BTB pass. You talked about Palumbo and his box lacrosse coming up, man.
Yeah,
that's perfect for it.
He's smooth. I mean, he's going to be a pro without question. Chad Palumbo. Big body, can soak checks. You saw in his first goal, the ability to kind of run through a defender. Then you show the creativity on that one. It's crazy how this game's tied, lads.
4-0 run in about 5 minute span from the Tigers, and you get a feel both these teams can score. Like, that's what makes them elite nationally.
Yep.
That's why they're going to be in the top 3 when this all settles out prior to selection show tonight. Offense.
Princeton, touch under 13 goals per game. Cornell, a little bit over 16. Number 1 scoring offense in the nation, but it's the skill and it's the creativity of both of these units, especially at the attack. I mean, these attack lines are super elite.
Final minute of this first quarter. Cornell jumped out to a 4-0 lead. Looked like they might run Princeton right out of the building here. And then Princeton with 4 to get back into it. Long shot bouncer. Wide of the mark. Bath gives it a chase. Just wants to kill it there in the corner. And he does. Horn sounds to end what was a